What's going on, guys? So, got another video that I've made here that is based off of the purchases that I've made from Dead Elf Collectibles. Kind of just an update video, catching up on some stuff. I do want to take a break. That's why you have not seen any of my typical Pokemon Mystery Mail Day videos. That is all the mail I'm ordering online, usually off of eBay, Mercari, Goodwill, whatever, wherever I'm buying this stuff from. But I'm not doing those videos because I was just constantly on there stressing out about what deals I'm going to miss and what stuff that I'm going to miss out on, and it just wasn't healthy for me. I did kind of promise myself, though, that I was going to keep up with the hobby, that I was not going to let that passion that I built up, these past couple years die out again. Like I did when I was kind of, in my younger teenage ages. So what we have here today is two booster boxes that I picked up from Dead Elf Collectibles that I don't have in my collection yet. So I finally can say that I have every single Sword and Shield set that is released. I guess, yeah, I even have Sword and Shield base. So yeah, I should have everything now. And I also picked up another Deoxys box. Yep. So this video seems to be doing really well. It seems to be getting a lot of traction in comparison to my Charizard UPC video. I have no idea why. The Charizard UPC, I feel like, is a really hype release. I'm not sure why it's not getting the same clicks, the same viewer retention, but whatever. People clearly seem to really like the video where I talked about this Deoxys battle box. And, I thought to myself, you should walk it like you talk it. So I went back to the store and I decided, you know what? I have one. Let me buy another. That way I can either, sell it down the road, or I'll have another that I can open in a couple of years when this is kind of considered more of a vintage retro box. But again, guys, I told you that I really like this box. I really like the colors on it, the red, the blue, the purple. And I like the fact that it was a $30 box. Really a budget pickup for anybody in the hobby. Not too crazy of a price to keep up with. So I picked up one of those. And so Dead Elf Collectibles is kind of like GameStop in a sense that they have a points system. So all my points from all the Charizard UPCs that I picked up, which if you guys saw that last video, which only 30 people have at this point, I picked up 5 Charizard UPCs. Yeah, 5 Charizard UPCs. I know that's crazy, but they were all retail at 120, so I really couldn't help myself. It was like 128 at the end of the day, and then I got a ton of points. So when I went back with all those points, I was actually able to get this box for free, basically. I had like $32 in points, and the box was 30 bucks. So I got this box for free, and then I took a couple bucks off these booster boxes. So, and I'm going to keep these in the bag since they both came from Dead Elf Collectibles. The only sets that I was missing, man, these feel really, really good, actually. The only sets that I was missing, guys, were Battle Styles. We got Battle Styles right here, and we got Astral Radiance right here. These were the only sets that I was missing, guys. I am caught up on everything now. I think I've got one booster box of Brilliant Stars. I would definitely like to have more booster boxes of that set, but it's whatever. I've got like 7 Lost Origin sets. I've got like 2 or 3 Chilling Reign, 2 or 3 Fusion Strike, 2 or 3 Darkness Ablaze, like 11, 12, maybe even more Evolving Skies, because I know I have a case of Evolving Skies. I have a lot of these booster boxes. I'm trying to think what else. I even have a Celestial Storm booster box, which is kind of definitely from the older generation. But I really wanted to be able to say that getting back into the hobby, that I had everything in Sword and Shield, which I was kind of sleeping out on some of these sets. Battle Styles isn't really that great of a set. That's wrong of me to say. It's not that it's not a great set. It's got the Sleepy Tyranitar. It's got a lot of the Urshifu cards, a lot of the alternate arts for Urshifu. I'm not a huge fan of Urshifu. But you've got that Tyranitar on the side. I knew even when I didn't know a lot about this set that I really wanted this Tyranitar. They dubbed the Sleepy Tyranitar, where he's kind of laying on a patch of grass and he's got a bunch of plates and, you know, food and mess. And he definitely, like, smoked a ton and got the munchies or something. Because, yeah, that Tyranitar artwork just looks like somebody who was having a good time and in a food coma. What else we got here? Oh, also they got this Empoleon on the side, which a lot of people have kind of forgotten about. This is also a really, really cool alternate art. But I feel like a lot of people aren't focusing on it. Mostly people want that Urshifu. That just wasn't it for me. For me, Battle Styles was all about the Tyranitar. And I've got a couple of sleeves of that. I'm kind of forgetting here. Of all the booster boxes I have a lot of sleeves too. I have one display full of sleeves, 2 displays full of sleeves. I've got a lot of Evolving Skies there. Unfortunately, a lot of the reprint Evolving Skies, which now I'm bummed out about because the store owner at Dead Elf was telling me that the reprints were terrible. So now I'm like worried about that. But guys, I never talk about this, but the actual quality of a sealed booster box, like sealed booster box actually being like high quality, like that's something that I feel like isn't talked about a lot. Some of my booster boxes feel kind of like loose, feel kind of weird. So I hand picked these from the store and these are all first wave. They're not reprints, but these feel really good, guys. I know that's like a weird thing to say, but it just feels very solid. The seal is really, really good on this. Just show you guys like how tight this thing is sealed in here. And Fusion Strike, that set did a really shitty job of like the quality of the Pokemon logo, the stamps. They kind of faded. They were kind of chalky. Like some of you might know exactly what I'm talking about. They're kind of chalky where it would kind of like fade off. And I thought it was kind of weird because when I got my first one, I was like, yo, the quality of this is terrible. But that was not the case with Battle Styles, and then this one just looks really good. Honestly, I wish that was the alternate art. I wish that was the alternate art. I think that would have been a really cool alternate art. The alternate art is Tyranitar laying on the ground, you know, in the food coma, but I really wish the alternate art was a little bit more aggressive. I like aggressive artworks. I like battle stance aggressive artworks. That is what I personally like the most. You know, I want to know that my Pokemon, you know, my favorite Pokemon look like they're about to fuck some shit up. All right, looking at this, you've got the Samurott, which a lot of people like Samurott. We've got Astral Radiance right here. Same deal. Really, really nice quality feeling booster box. Very solid. Very tight seal. Everything looks really good. And you've got the Typhlosion, the Hisuian Typhlosion over here, which, guys, who doesn't love Typhlosion? Typhlosion's badass. Problem here is that Typhlosion kind of has this kind of weird outfit kind of thing going on. He's got like the flames on him. It's like purple, pinkish. I'm gonna get it a little bit closer. It looks so far off from the old school Neo Genesis Typhlosion. That kind of bothers me a little bit. But it's whatever, you know. I'm trying to get into these newer sets and really accept them. I will say, you've got Palkia up top here, and you've got obviously Dialga right there. People love those legendaries. You know, it gives those Diamond and Pearl vibes. I didn't fuck with Diamond and Pearl, so I can't really speak much on that. But I will say that the Dialga on the front of there does look really cool. But anyways, guys, I now have these two in my collection, which these are my first. I don't have any other Battle Styles or Astral Radiance. So now I can finally say that I have kept up with all the Sword and Shield sets, including the Sword and Shield base set. So yeah, that's a wrap, guys. In terms of what's coming out, I think Silver Tempest now releases on the 7th. At least that's what Dead Elf Collectibles is doing. So on the 7th, I will be in line trying to get as many of those Silver Tempest booster boxes as I can. I think Silver Tempest is going to be really sick. I thought that that was the last set of the year, but apparently there's going to be another set coming out after Silver Tempest. Whatever, they're just bombarding us with product. Two like mini expansions that I thought were really good were I really liked Pokemon Go. I know Pokemon Go kind of got a bad rap. I really liked the Radiant cards, the Radiant Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. I thought those Radiant cards were really cool. The Radiant Steelix I thought was really cool. And then, you know, Celebrations wasn't this year, but I have a lot of Celebrations ETBs. I'm really excited for Celebrations to go up in value. And that's why I bought so many Charizard UPCs, because the Ultra Premium Collection boxes tend to go up and rise quickly in value. So I got a lot of those, and I'm going to do a separate video on that since we're already at 10 minutes here. But thank you guys for watching, and let's see. I'll read off these booster boxes. Choose your battle style wisely. Be a Titan full of power, or strike with impossible speed. It all depends on your martial mastery. Channel the power of Pokemon V like Mimikyu V, Tyranitar V, Empoleon V, and more. You'll find a handful of impressive Pokemon VMAX, including Gigantamax or Shifu, and both Single Strike and Rapid Strike styles. I really don't like the whole Single Strike, Rapid Strike thing where it says it on the card. I think that it just ruins part of the artwork, but that's just me. Unleash epic smash-ups with the Sword and Shield Battle Styles expansion. Again, you've got that really badass looking Empoleon. You've got Tyranitar. Honestly, if I were to store this box, I would be storing it like this, because this is how I want to remember battle styles for the Tyranitar. But when this came out, it definitely wasn't like, I was kind of like, yeah, that's the one that I'm going to sleep on. Now, I did pay like $110 for this box. I know they're going for like $80, $85 by the case. But then you're paying shipping, you're paying taxes on that. At the end of the day, you know, they're still very, very similar prices. You know, I would like to have a case of all of these sets. I would ideally like to buy a case of all these sets, because that would lower my cost average on all these sets. But that's very expensive to do. It's much easier for me to go to the store and just walk out with, you know, these booster boxes than buying a whole case. What I will say is these booster boxes were running me about $230, $240, maybe $250 or $260 after tax. You could spend $500 and get a whole case of Battle Styles booster boxes. That's 6 booster boxes for $500. So like, you would get a lot better value and a lot better deal buying the cases than buying the individual booster boxes. But then you've got Astral Radiance. You've got your Hisuian Typhlosion that I think is kind of lame. You've got your Samurott, which, you know, Samurott's growing on me. But let's read the back of this. And I know I'm late to the party. So many people have already talked about these boxes. So many people have done openings. I've been so busy and so like engulfed in like vintage that I've kind of just like put off opening anything modern or even reviewing anything that was modern. But let's read the back of this. Astral Radiance, Legends of Time and Space take charge. Also, I want to say all these like space-themed boxes, Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, well, maybe not Lost Origin, Brilliant Stars, Astral Radiance, like those are cool because my name is Orion, right? So my parents named me after Orion's belt, which is constellation in the stars. So for me, like these booster boxes are kind of special because anything with any kind of like star or galactic or like, you know, universe theme is kind of cool to me. Travel back to the land of myths, legends, and wilderness as Origin Form Dialga V-Star and Origin Form Palkia V-Star shape the fabric of time and space. That's pretty cool. Decidueye, Typhlosion, and Samurott arrive as Hisuian Pokemon V-Star, joining more Pokemon trainers from the ancient region of Hisui. Meanwhile, shiny Pokemon reappear as Radiant Pokemon, with Radiant Greninja taking charge, leading the charge in Pokemon TCG Sword and Shield Astral Radiance expansion. So, yeah, these were, like, this set, when this came out, obviously I missed, you know, I just kind of, I got in, you know, when, you know, I was starting to collect Modern again when Evolving Skies was, had been released for a little bit. Fusion Strike, Darkness Ablaze. I kind of, when I got into Modern, missed the boat on Battle Styles a little bit and kind of just kind of was like, I'll get to that when I get to it. I haven't heard craziness about it anyways. But I think Battle Styles is actually a really, really good expansion. I think down the road, we'll look back and say, like, I remember when cases were $500 and now the one booster box is $500. I think that's going to happen. I think it may take a decade. I think it may take several years, but I think that's going to happen at some point. I think a lot of the people that have loaded up on cases and cases of Battle Styles, because it was just the best set for the money, I think that they're going to do very well down the road. That's just me, though. Whereas Astro Radiance, I kind of knew the set list when it came out, and I was just like, I'm just not feeling that. Other than the Machamp, I just wasn't really feeling it. What's weird is it doesn't even talk about the Machamp on the back there, which is kind of weird because Machamp was such an important alt art coming out of that set. And then Lost Origin, I sat out because I wasn't too interested in the Giratina or the Aerodactyl, but, who knows. I may do an opening. I don't want to go back to the old days of, like, when I first started YouTube and I was just ripping open packs and I just wasn't pulling anything too crazy. I did pull a lot of holographic cards, but they weren't up to standard with what I was expecting. My expectations were like, I'm going to get an alt art if I'm pulling all these cards. I did get a Celebi alt art, which was pretty cool. Getting an alt art in general was really cool, but when you think about the vast amount of packs that I had to open just to get that Celebi, that was kind of lame. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of lame. When you're spending thousands of dollars on Modern packs and you're only getting like one or two alt arts, come on, that's garbage. So I think Pokemon really has to step it up with the pull rates. I think they have to step it up with the pull rates, or there's going to be like kind of a Pokemon recession, so to speak. I think people are really going to pull back on buying stuff, and it's going to switch to the fundamentals, which it always has been like this. It's always been that vintage keeps people buying. Like the vintage market, people are always going to be buying that stuff. They're always going to want to collect it. Whereas the modern market, some people are getting really burnt out on it. When we were in line for the Charizard UPC, there were like 11 people there. The demand wasn't crazy. And I mean, we knew that they printed a metric fuckload of Charizard UPCs. Pardon my French, but the channel isn't for kids anyways. But we knew they weren't printing a ton of those, or we knew they were printing a ton of those UPCs. So, I'm not surprised that people were like, I'm not going to wait in line for this. I can probably order it online. But right now, what's crazy to me is right now that Charizard UPC is going for $180 at the very least on eBay for buy it now. Now, there are bids that are going $150, $160, $170. But if you want to just buy it now and not deal with the hassle or the stress of bidding, you're going to be paying $188, I think was the exact amount, or $185, something like that. After tax, you're over $200, which means locally, if I wanted to sell my Charizard UPCs, I could probably ask $200 for them. Now, granted, I don't think that box is worth me only making $100 on it. Call me a scalper, whatever you want. I'm buying this stuff to hold it and sit on it. I think sitting on sealed product is one of the best strategies you can have getting back into the TCG. And for me, I just think it's a surefire way to get your money back and also to invest in the hobby. I don't mean like scalping and flipping. I mean investing, sitting on stuff for years. Buying it out of the store and sitting on it isn't exactly investing. Your margins are not amazing. You really want to buy cases from distributors. That's really what you want to buy, or someone who's connected with a distributor who can get you super cheap prices, stuff for the low. That's how you want to invest in Pokemon. But for me, to have a store that's right near my house, Dead Elf Collectibles is just extremely convenient for me. And so I will be buying stuff from there. They have the point system. And just that like memory of being like, I went to a hobby shop and I picked this stuff up in 2022, you know, October, September, August, whenever stuff releases. I picked it up in 2022 and I sat on it for a couple years. That's going to be a cool story for me to have. And half of collecting is like about the stories. Speaking of the stories, I met someone who came through the bar. There's a lot of people that come through Starlight on 22nd, and I'll talk about my passion and my hobby on the side, which is Pokemon. And sometimes people are like, yo, I have a whole binder. Do you want to buy that stuff? And I'm like, I will absolutely buy your binder. So someone's been reaching out to me the past 2 days trying to sell me their binder of cards. And I know the market is kind of slowing down right now, so I don't want to jump the gun and offer too much. But guys, stay tuned. I may be doing a video where I talk about the binder that I'm going to drive out and go buy if they accept what I'm willing to pay. I've offered like $120 for a binder, a small binder, a 1999 Pokemon binder. It's like the 4-card binder, and it's got a couple sheets in it, but you know, nothing too crazy. But there are some good holos in there. There's a Blastoise and a Venusaur. I felt like 120 was a really strong offer for cash and me to go pick it up and drive there. They don't have to do any work. That'll be a really fun video to do really good content. And then the other thing is there's a deal locally that I'm looking at for 13,000 cards for $250. 13,000. Now there's probably a lot of garbage in there. There's probably a lot of bulk in there, but that's bulk from sets that are like 2 years old. So I'm thinking in my head like, I could complete a lot of sets probably with 13,000 cards. Anyways, guys, stay tuned for all that good stuff. And I've got another video that I'm about to put up here, talking about why I bought more Charizard UPCs. Yep, you guys heard it. I bought more Charizard UPCs. Not only did I buy the 5 recently, but I went to GameStop and I picked up 2 more. So I'm going to talk about that in the next video. Peace out, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. I don't know how or why we aren't at 300 subscribers yet. We need 9 subscribers, guys. We need 9 subscribers. If you get 9 people to look at this channel and just click subscribe to it, we have 300 subscribers on here, guys. Some of y'all remember when I was working at the bar and I was like, yeah, I have like 20 subscribers, but you know, if you want to support me and my YouTube channel, you know, go on there. If you like seeing vintage Pokemon cards, go on there, you know, and it's just grown not only naturally and organically, but it's grown from my store online. It's grown from people that I've met at the bar. So just thank you to everybody that's been a part of this channel. I mean, seriously, I don't say that enough. I'm not grateful enough. You know, as you get more subscribers, you get a little more entitled with what you think your channel should be doing, you know, analytics-wise. But I'm very appreciative for what I've accomplished so far, and I just think it's awesome that we have an audience here in general. Anyways, guys, try to get some subscribers. If you know people that are into vintage Pokemon or even modern Pokemon, or just like listening to people ramble about sets, yo, show them this channel. We only have 9 subscribers left. Anyways, guys, peace out. Take care of yourself, love yourself, have a great day, and stay tuned for the next videos. Deuce, deuce.